I want to welcome everyone tonight. I hope you come hungry. I hope you come praying. I hope because if you've done those things, surely we'll eat from the Master's table. We attended a funeral today, Brother Jerry and myself and Brother James, of an old brother that belonged 61 years in the church. When he was 19 years old, he turned his life over to the Lord. When he was 18 years old, he married his companion. The words she said, it touched me, Brother James, so deep. But what he dreamed and what he said before he left rings in my mind tonight. He said, I've dreamed that there was bread and bread to spare. He said, I've dreamed of a land you should see the gates. He said, the Lord showed me bread everywhere. He said, I get to sit down at the Master's table. 7.5 years ago, I made it up in my mind that I wanted to sit at the Master's table.
Yes, sir.
I wanted a bite of that bread that come from heaven.
Living bread.
That Jesus said, if a man eat thereof, he'll never die.
Amen.
Patty, you know what I did? I wept and I mourned, Ron, like the old writer said. I chattered like a crane, I mourned like a dove.
Yes,
I'm glad when I heard his voice, I took heed to it.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad
Thank
he
you,
speaks
Lord.
to the hearts of men and women.
He still loves.
I hope you're hungry tonight. I hope you're hungry.
Lord,
There's a lot of sick tonight. There's a lot that's asked me to remember them. There's a football coach that coaches college at EKU. He's had a massive heart attack. His wife asked for prayer. They took him to UK. Prayer changes things. Prayer changes things. And I'll tell you something. You may have the best degree in the world. You may be a renowned speaker. But you let a stroke come and your job is over.
That's right.
You may be the greatest physician, surgeon, Sister Darlene, the world has ever known. But you let a stroke come
It's over.
and his job is over.
That's right.
But if you cry to the Master and you find favor in his eyes, no matter what you do in life, no matter what you go, no matter where you live, you've got a seat at the King's palace.
That's right.
You got a seat at the King's palace. And all through life, it don't matter what you possess here in life, but when you come down to leave, it matters who's on your side. That's when it matters. The big things in life doesn't matter anymore. It's between you and God.
That's right.
I hope you're hungry.
Go ahead.
You know, there was a little boy in the Bible, the only one out of the crowd that came prepared. He had a few little fishes, a few little loaves of bread. Everybody was hungry.
He gave it to the Master.
But he took it to the one that needed it. And when Jesus took it in his hands, he multiplied it.
Bless you.
I'll tell you what, mothers, I've never found a friend in my life, Brother Jerry, like the Master.
No, sir.
You talk about multiplying my life. He gave me more than I deserved.
Yes, sir.
But more than anything, he gave me a home in heaven.
Yeah, that's
But one day after a while, In the sweet by and by, I'm gonna live forever. I didn't know that brother there, but I'll meet him in the morning. You see why? A man named Jesus Christ came by my house one night, and he told me everything I was. But bless the Lord tonight, he told me what I could be by His marvelous grace. I said, Lord, here I am. And He said, son, what separates you from me? My sins, Lord. Lay them at my feet. I left them at the Master's feet. He laid His right hand upon me, man. He called my name that night. I've got a home now in glory land. I'm on the King's Highway. I'm headed to a city not made with hand. You ought to see the city. It's the streets where they go. You ought to see, oh man, you ought to see the throne. You talk about joy. You talk about peace, Brother B.J. All around that throne, there's a rainbow.
Yes,
on the right hand of the Father, sets His Son.
Yes, sir.
He's got His arms stretched out. He knows where you're at tonight. He's glad you're in the house of the Lord. He wants you to turn your face to the wall.
Yes, sir.
Say, here I am, Lord. What would you have me to do? It won't do. I want Brother James Sloan to come and introduce service. And lead us in prayer. I want Brother James Swigger and Brother Randy to come. I want you to feel at home here. I want you to feel the love of God here. There's not a member here that don't want to put their arms around you and hug you so tight and say, we're glad that you're here. We're glad that you're here. Oh, there's coming a time, men and women, that we're not going to be able to meet out no more. We're not going to meet out no more. That little woman's going home tonight without her husband. She'll lay and weep and mourn. Probably the rest of her days. Few she has. But oh, they got the sweetest promise. They laid their hand in the Master's hand. They're going to live forever one day in the sweet by and by. I want men and women to go. I want you to go. I want you to get prepared to go. I'll tell you how you can. You be like that little boy Samuel said, Lord, here I am. Thy servant hears you. You want to know what I am? I'm nothing here in this life, but I'm a child of the King. And my Father owns the gold. He owns the gold and the cattle of 1,000 hills. He owns it all, Brother B.J. And you know what He promised me? He said, I'll never leave you. I'll never forsake you. I'll go all the way with you. Brother Henry, when you're down and out, and when you can't get up, and you know what? He's right there, and He'll cause a smile to come on your face. He'll make you say, oh Lord, I'm glad you're mine. I'm yours. I'm glad I got a friend in you, Lord. I'm glad when the world turns me down, you never turn me down. You said, come unto me all ye ends of the earth, and be ye saved. For I'm God, and besides me there is none other.
Amen.
Welcome to the Antioch Church. Welcome to the Lord's house, to the house of prayer. It's what Brother Jerry calls it. And it is. It's a place where things change through the prayer. Come on, Brother James.